Good afternoon from the KUOW newsroom. This is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Wednesday, March 25th. And before our top story, shout out to the people listening who are members of KUOW Public Radio. It's our fundraising drive this week, one of the big ones we do each year. And we have loved hearing from you, our listeners, as you make donations. Those of you who haven't donated yet, join the family. A great amount to give to support Seattle Now is $15 a month, because at that level, you unlock the special KUOW socks. That's the thank you gift. We give it $15 a month, or you can choose whatever gift you'd like. Donate, and please leave us a note about when or what you listen to when you make your gift. The link is in the show notes. You're going to see a lot of green and yellow Sonics gear on your way home today. Today, the NBA's Board of Governors took a big step toward league expansion, which means the Seattle Supersonics are closer than ever to returning. Vaughn Jones has more.
The board voted unanimously Wednesday to open up bidding for expansion teams in Las Vegas and Seattle. ESPN reports the expansion fee for each team may be in the $7 to $10 billion range. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says the league's goal is to have ownership and an expansion process solidified by the end of the calendar year, with the two teams starting play in the 2028-29 season. 20 years on the dot from when the Supersonics left Seattle for Oklahoma City in 2008. Vaughn Jones, KUOW News.
Much more from Vaughn on the possible return of the Supersonics is on our show tomorrow morning. The caretakers of the Supersonics legacy are getting busy. More than 5,000 pieces of Sonics memorabilia are housed at the Museum of History and Industry in South Lake Union, MOHI. But those items may be headed to a new home, Climate Pledge Arena.
As incredible as Climate Pledge Arena is, way out in the open and the incredible excitement of the arena is probably not an environment that meets museum quality standards.
That's Leonard Garfield, executive director of MOHI. Garfield says he looks forward to potentially working with Climate Pledge and the team's new owner to share and display the items in a way that preserves them for decades to come. After the Sonics left for Oklahoma City in 2008, the collection stayed behind at MOHI as part of a settlement agreement between the city and the owners of the Oklahoma City Thunder. In the business of sports and events, two local teams are standing up to the ticketing giants today. The Seattle Sounders and Reign are using a new ticketing platform, meaning fans won't have to buy tickets through Ticketmaster. The professional soccer teams are moving to the ticketing platform Jump. They say it'll let them manage the process and get rid of the so-called middleman. In immigration news, the King County Council has voted to ban civil immigration agents from staging on certain county property. Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda introduced the ban. She says other local governments that have felt the impact of immigration raids have already passed similar measures.
We will do everything we can to make sure that ICE knows that civil immigration enforcement, the corralling of people, the setting up of operations, the use of our land for planning purposes, deploying our land as an enforcement mechanism is not going to be permissible.
It'll be up to the King County Executive's office to decide which specific locations are restricted. It could include vacant lots, parks, private sections of county buildings, and other areas owned by the county. Councilmember Reagan Dunn voted no, saying in a statement this will set King County up for a lawsuit that will drain county resources. Further south, Pierce County's become the latest jurisdiction to ban new detention centers. The county council passed a 6-month moratorium prohibiting new detention centers or expansions in unincorporated areas of Pierce County. The ban's similar to those already passed in King County, Seattle, SeaTac, and Tukwila. We're following major news within the indigenous community today. The U.S. Supreme Court has denied the Chinook Indian Nation's attempt to gain federal recognition. Chinook Indian Nation leaders say they'll continue fighting to be a federally recognized tribe, a fight that's been ongoing for generations. The nation represents 5 tribes along the mouth of the Columbia River. It briefly gained recognition in 2001, only to have it stripped away less than 2 years later. Chairman Tony Nashio Johnson said in a statement that the nation's next step includes seeking action through Congress and repetitioning the Bureau of Indian Affairs. A King County official has been criminally charged for allegedly violating a court order last year. Scott Greenstone's been following.
John Arthur Wilson is the King County Assessor, an obscure but important job managing appraisers who determine taxable property values. Last year, Wilson faced calls to step down after a number of restraining orders surfaced, filed by his ex-fiancée Lee Keller. Wilson was arrested in July outside Keller's home in Seattle on suspicion of stalking. Now, Seattle's city attorney has filed 2 gross misdemeanor charges against Wilson, who didn't respond to a request for comment. Keller declined to speak on the record as well. Wilson apologized to Keller and the public last year and said he won't run for re-election this year, but he is currently still in office. Scott Greenstone, KUOW News.
In Seattle, federal judges plan to appoint the region's next U.S. attorney, and they've chosen a panel of lawyers to help. This comes as the Trump administration has clashed with courts and senators over some of its picks for top prosecutors. Amy Radel has more.
The Trump administration picked Neil Floyd, a former immigration judge, to be Seattle's next U.S. attorney, but Senator Patty Murray made clear she would block his confirmation. Floyd is currently the top federal prosecutor in Seattle, but the district judges have announced they plan to appoint a new U.S. attorney as the law allows. This week, they named a panel of lawyers to vet applicants and make recommendations. It's chaired by Republican Rob McKenna, Washington State's former attorney general. Some judges' picks in other states have been instantly fired by the Justice Department. But federal judges in New Jersey recently negotiated with the DOJ to install a consensus candidate. Amy Radel, KUOW News.
Finally today, we've got a story gaining some buzz. Washington is home to at least 600 types of bees. That tally has grown by dozens of species thanks to a statewide survey of these key pollinators. John Ryan has the latest.
Volunteers fanned out across the state with nets and vials to gather little buzzes of data for the Washington Bee Atlas. With the help of expert entomologists, they found dozens of species new to Washington. They rediscovered other bees that hadn't been seen here for a century. Elizabeth Murray is an entomology professor at Washington State University. She says Northwest bees are very diverse.
Big to small, furry, hairy, to hardly having any hair, different colors. There's a lot of variety out there. They're doing a lot of work out in the ecosystem and also in agricultural systems.
The Atlas aims to inform efforts to conserve bees and all the work they do. Nationwide, wild insects are estimated to pollinate more than $5 billion in crops each year. John Ryan, KUOW News.
Next time on Seattle Now, the Seattle Supersonics are closer to returning than they've ever been after NBA owners voted to explore expansion bids.
The NBA wants sneakers back on the hardwood.
All right.
By 2028, Poetry in Motion, 20 years since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Ooh. Hear more Thursday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See ya.